Good evening, Philippines. This is Mike Padua, and we are now initializing the first update on Tropical Storm RAI. This is now a special coverage for this Monday evening, December 13, 2021, and this is brought to you by Typhoon 2000. Let's begin with our update. Here's the latest fast animation for this evening, and as you can see, the tropical depression which developed 24 hours ago is now a full-blown tropical storm and is now approaching the western Micronesia, particularly Palau, and is now packing winds of 65 kph, and it's likely overnight it will strengthen more into a 85 kph tropical storm. And the system is also fast approaching the Philippine area of responsibility, which is located here. So once the system enters the line, the power line, it will be named locally or domestically as Odette. This will become the 15th tropical cyclone that will enter the Philippine area of responsibility. So this system is now having some increasing coverage, and it's now around 800 kilometers in diameter, and is now moving west-northwest at a speed of 22 to 24 kph, and it's likely once it enters the Philippine area of responsibility, it will grow into a severe tropical storm and eventually into a Category 1 typhoon based on what the computer models suggest. And this is very dangerous, particularly along the areas of the Visayas and northern Mindanao, since it is quite large alongside with the prevailing La Nina conditions. So this will become a rainstorm with strong winds as well, typhoon force winds that will affect the Visayan region. So please take all necessary precautions. Let's hope and pray that the system will not rapidly intensify, since there's a possibility because of high oceanic heat content over the Philippine Sea. And if we take a look at the zoom-in satellite animation from windy.com, the center circulation of this tropical storm has begun to further organized, and we already have a central dense overcast. These are rain bands with strong winds, and is likely to reach typhoon intensity once it moves into the Philippine Sea. And we are going to closely observe this system in the coming days, particularly before it makes landfall over the northern portions of Caraga and the Visayas. Meanwhile, across the Bicol region and portions of eastern Luzon, we have a northeasterly surface wind flow. It's a weaker type of amihan or northeast monsoon affecting the areas of the Bicol region, eastern Luzon, and also we still have the remnants of the shear line, but starting to weaken. Now let's take a look at the latest storm watch track number 2 from Typhoon 2000. So if we are going to zoom this, there we go. It is expected to enter the Philippine area of responsibility by tomorrow evening, most likely between 10 or 11 p.m. and it's expected to bring stormy conditions across Palau and Yap within the next 24 hours, and it will intensify into a 110 kilometers per hour severe tropical storm, and most likely in the afternoon of December 15, Wednesday, it will be upgraded into a typhoon. And based on the forecast track which we plotted this afternoon, it is likely that it will make landfall along the northern shorelines of Surigao del Norte or along Siargao and Dinagat Island sometime between 10 p.m. to 12 midnight of December 16. That's Thursday evening, late Thursday evening. So that will be the time of the landfall. So the forecast wind estimate on this tropical storm, once it reaches typhoon intensity, it is likely to reach category 2 strength of 165, gusting up to 205. And we still don't know if the warmer oceanic heat content here to the east of Surigao will turn more to the reddish color, will become more warmer, so that will trigger more intensification. We're not going to remove the possibility that the system might undergo some rapid intensification, since in the past there are lots of typhoons when it reaches the coastal areas of Visayas, Bicol. Sometimes it rapidly intensifies, so there's a possibility that the 165 kph can still go up to 185 based on what we observe on the wind models. But as of this time, it's still over aggressive, and right now we stick at 165 kph 1 minute average. And once the system makes landfall, it will weaken a little bit to 160 to 150 kph, and the next areas that it will make landfall are the areas of Bohol, Cebu, Negros, and the southern part or southern tip of Panay Island. So that will be on Friday morning through the afternoon. So residents or folks watching this video, particularly over the Visayas, must be prepared on the possible effects of this tropical storm, and it looks like it could become a dangerous typhoon. And the wide area of tropical storm force winds gusting up to 100 kilometers may reach portions of northern Mindanao, including Cagayan de Oro, and also eastern Visayas, Masbate. That's the only area of the Bicol region that will be affected by the 75 to 100 kph tropical storm force winds beginning Thursday evening throughout Friday. So please take all necessary precautions. Meanwhile, areas like Cebu, Bohol, Negros, and southern Panay might be experiencing damaging winds, okay, or typhoon force winds of more than gusting of more than 100 or 130 kph. So please be aware on the approach of the system. Meanwhile, folks down here over at Cuyo Island, particularly over the northern portions of Palawan, including El Nido, must take all necessary precautions as well, as it is expected to pass over your area come Saturday morning. Okay, so I expect also that the winds might re-intensify as it moves across the Sulu archipelago, and it's likely to be back to 160 kph or category 2 strength before it moves into the West Philippine Sea. So please take all necessary precautions, and take note of the area of uncertainty, the outer line of the cone. So folks over at Albay, Sorsogon must also monitor the system, including Naga City, because we are on the edge of this area of uncertainty, or the cone of uncertainty. So although the strike probability over Bicol, particularly Naga, is around 0%, while over Masbate is around 10 to 30%. So there's also a possibility that a sudden shift towards the north might bring tropical storm conditions over the Bicol region. So most likely the Bicol region will be upgraded into storm signal number 1 because of the large circulation of this tropical storm RAI. Okay, so once it enters PAR, it will be named as Odette. So Pag-asa will be issuing storm signals as well along the path of this system. So expect heavy rainfall and strong winds, as well as possible storm surge across the eastern sections of Mindanao, the whole of the Visayan Sea. So expect some big waves generated by this potential typhoon. So let's hope and pray that it will not continue to intensify, and please take all necessary precautions. Okay, now let's take a look at the latest wind accumulation. So this is the wind accumulation for the next 5 days from the time the storm makes landfall over Northern Caraga and across the Visayas. These white patches of color, this is the wind intensity. If we click this, so you can clearly see here that the winds is more than 130 up to 170. Okay, so these are the damaging winds of typhoon intensity across the Visayas up to northern Palawan. So take note of those wind strength that the system will bring across these areas. While here over the areas of eastern Visayas, it's at tropical storm force winds, including Masbate, Romblon, and Mindoro, winds of around 50 to 80 kph. While over the Bicol region, we expect winds of 30 up to 55 kph or even up to 65 kph, particularly here along the coastal areas of Sorsogon. But inland Bicol will have winds of up to 55 kph, brought about by the combined effects of the northeast monsoon, possible shear line, and the trough or the outer rain bands of tropical storm RAI. So there you go. In Metro Manila, also expect some winds of 20 to 40 kph or up to 50. It depends on the strength or the enhancement of the northeast monsoon enhanced by this potential typhoon. Okay, so please take all necessary precautions. Now let's take a look at the multimodal diagnostic comparison when it comes to the wind. Now here's the wind intensity. Now at the time of the storm preparing to make landfall, there are some ranges, there is some intensity output here that shows that it could reach super typhoon intensity right here. These are two models, the CTCX and the HWRF model, showing wind speed reaching around 120 to 130 knots. Okay, that's around 230 to 240 kph, but majority of them only shows a wind speed of up to 150 or 160 kph. So that's what the forecast wind speed that we showed to you a while ago are showing. So let's hope and pray that this won't trigger any rapid intensification. This is what we are worried about along the east coast of eastern Visayas and eastern Mindanao. There's this pool of slightly higher oceanic heat content, around 75 to 100 kilojoules. Okay, so once the system enters that area, if it will not become cooler, there's a possibility that the system might gain more strength of up to 200 kph. So we are not going to rule out the possibility of that system reaching more high wind speed. Now, take note that we are on a climate change scenario. That's why most of the system nowadays can rapidly intensify. So please take note of that. Let's hope that all of you guys there in Visayas and northeastern Mindanao must be fully aware and be prepared on the approach of this tropical cyclone. Now, when it comes to the rainfall accumulation, this is the rainfall accumulation from 8 a.m. this morning, Monday, until 8 a.m. Wednesday. As you can see, as early as Wednesday afternoon or evening, there will be already some rains and thunderstorms across the eastern sections of Samar, eastern Leyte, and eastern sections of and northern sections of Caraga. While the Bicol region will also have some on and off rainfall across the eastern coastline, but usually in reality, these red ones can also affect the whole of the Bicol Peninsula. So take note of that. And if we move it for the next 5 days, there you go. So a wide swath of the Visayas, including Palawan and northern Mindanao, will get affected by this violent rainfall or extreme rainfall, from moderate, heavy to extreme rainfall, maybe up to 200 or 500 millimeters for the next between December 16 to 17. And also, the Bicol region will also be affected by heavy rainfall of maybe around 100 to 200 millimeters because of the trough, the shear line, and the northeast monsoon. The trough means the northernmost circulation of tropical storm RAI or Odette. Okay, so please take all necessary precautions, and this will cause some problems, particularly in low-lying areas, flood-prone areas, landslide-prone areas, as well as the possible hazard when it comes to high winds and the coastal flooding, which is due to possible storm surge, particularly across the Visayas and northern and eastern Mindanao. The areas of Cagayan Valley and also the eastern coastal areas of Luzon will also be affected, not by the circulation of the storm, but the enhanced northeast monsoon or amihan. So please take all necessary precautions. So overall, the whole of the archipelago will have big waves generated by the monsoon, a combination of the monsoon and the circulation and the strong winds generated by the tropical storm RAI. Okay, so that's the rainfall accumulation. Now here's the Asian agency's tracks on tropical cyclone RAI. So they all agree with a possible landfall between 8 to 11 p.m. On Thursday, December 16, across Surigao del Norte or Siargao, Dinagat Islands, and it will traverse Bohol, Cebu, Negros, and the southern portions of Panay in the morning and afternoon of Friday, December 17. So tomorrow we are going to give you another update to show to you what will be the new track forecast. Okay, and if we take a look at the computer models right now, it really shows a possible landfall from northern Caraga across the Visayas and into northern Palawan, including the Calamian group of islands. So take note to so please take all necessary precautions and listen to the local disaster units on what to do, on where there's you must already know where the evacuation centers are located, just in case this system will bring lots of hazards, particularly the rainfall and the storm surge, as well as the winds and the landslides that will be generated this coming Thursday through Friday. So let's all pray that this system will not intensify further, and let's hope that all will be safe when this system moves across our country. So please take all necessary precautions. We are going to return again tomorrow evening or afternoon to give you the very latest here at our YouTube channel, Mr. Typhoon TV, and at our Facebook page, MrTyphoon.com. And don't forget also to view our website, www.typhoon2000.h, for the latest information from different Asian agencies, including our advisory on this tropical storm. From Typhoon 2000, this is Mike Padua reporting. Stay safe, always be #weatherwiser, and thank you so much for watching our channel.